Welcome back to your favorite meetings of the month. Last month we had the most interesting of meetings. Not sure we can top that, but we'll do our best. During tonight's meeting, the Commission will go over revisions to the strategic plan, take up a sphere of influence in MSR without a proposed annexation, consider a rather unusual and large annexation, sphere of influence amendment, and municipal service review, all for one district. And we will rehash the feasibility study from last month. A couple notes regarding how this meeting is held both in person and in video conference. My understanding is we have 25 people on Zoom. 31 now. It's climbing. So we have some interest here tonight. For our guests in the room, if you're a representative from an agency or here from the general public and wish to speak on an item before the Commission, we ask that you use the microphone at the podium. Allow the chair to recognize you and provide your name, any affiliation, and speak into the microphone. We are recording these proceedings and want to make sure you are heard both in the room and online. For those attending by video conference, if you are from an agency or the public, your microphone is muted until the chair recognizes you and the host unmutes your microphone. There will be an opportunity to speak on specific items on the agenda. Please use the raise hand function to be recognized, and the raise hand button is in different places depending on your version and device you are using to participate. Mr. Rice as host, is in charge of the Zoom portion of the meeting. If anyone gets disruptive, Mr. Rice has the authority to remove them from Zoom. We do not have any commissioners online, so I can skip that. And when a commissioner makes a motion, please state your name and your motion. The chair will repeat the person's name and motion, and all votes will be roll call votes. Thank you, everyone, for working with us. Please start the video, and I turn back to the chair.
In progress.
Sure. Thank you, Mr. Knox, for the meeting protocols. Good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and members of the Commission, to the Local Agency Formation Commission meeting of September 17th. At this time, we will go to agenda item 1, roll call. Madam Clerk, would you please take the roll?
Commissioner Ayon,
Present.
Commissioner Clark,
Here.
Commissioner Couch, absent. Commissioner Endicott,
Present.
Commissioner Flores,
Here.
Commissioner Fowler,
Here.
Commissioner Gonzalez,
Here.
Commissioner McKibben,
Yes.
Commissioner Zaragoza.
Here.
Roll call complete.
Okay, thank you. That brings us to item 2, invocation, and this will be led by Commissioner Clark.
Thank you. Please bow your heads. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. Please give our commission the wisdom to make the right decisions this evening. And as we adjourn this evening, please be with all those that are traveling. Make sure that they come home safely to their families. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Okay, thank you. Brings us to Pledge of Allegiance, and this will be led by Commissioner Endicott.
Ready, begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you. It's my understanding there's no video conference request from commissioners. However, I do have a question from Commissioner Endicott. I thought that we would ask this of council at the moment regarding commissioner attendance via Zoom. Commissioner Endicott?
Yeah. So Commissioner Endicott, is there any reason why our virtual visits are limited to 2 per calendar year? Or is there any way to increase that for individuals, say, driving a total of 4 hours in one day?
First of all, it's statutory. It's not a local rule. I don't know if there's a way to get around that for, depending on the length of time you have to travel, because you do come a long distance. I can look that up and see.
Okay, I'd appreciate that.
You bet.
Thanks.
Thank you. Thanks for looking into that. Okay, that brings us to item number 5, approval of the minutes of August 20th, 2025. We've had those minutes in advance. Is there any public comment? Okay, seeing none. Commissioner comments or questions?
Motion to approve, Fowler.
Clark, second.
Okay, motion and second. Please call the vote.
Commissioner Ayon,
Aye.
Commissioner Clark,
Yes.
Commissioner Endicott,
Aye.
Commissioner Flores,
Yes.
Commissioner Fowler,
Yes.
Commissioner Gonzalez,
Yes.
Commissioner McKibben,
Yes.
Commissioner Zaragoza.
Aye.
All ayes, motion passed.
Okay, thank you. That brings us to item 6, public comments. This portion of the meeting is reserved for people desiring to address the commission on any matter not on the agenda and over which the commission has jurisdiction. Speakers are limited to 2 minutes. Please state your name and address for the record before making your presentation. Madam Clerk, is there anyone here under public comment?
No.
Okay, all right, thank you. Skipping over item A, there's no items. I'm over item 8. Item 7, determination proceeding. Moving on to 8, notice of public hearings. I'm going to read 3 items, 1837, 38, and 39 altogether. And then I'm going to hear 1 staff report, and then we'll be voting separately on each of these items. Item 8A is 1837 East Kern Healthcare District Sphere of Influence Amendment. Consideration of the proposed sphere of influence amendment to encompass the area presented in the corresponding annexation area. Proceeding 1838, currently being served by Ridgecrest Regional Hospital. Application was filed required by GC 56428, CEQA Notice of Exemption. It's a resolution. Item B is 1838 East Kern Healthcare District, annexation number 02. This proposal is to annex approximately 404,488 acres of land in northeastern Kern County, including the city of Ridgecrest and surrounding area. The intent of the proposal is to expand the boundary within which East Kern Healthcare District can provide services to Ridgecrest Regional Hospital. The proposal consists of a sphere of influence amendment with a concurrent annexation. The proposal does not have 100% landowner consent. Item C, 1839 East Kern Healthcare District Municipal Services Review. This MSR update of the East Kern Healthcare District sphere of influence boundary in order to prepare and to update spheres of influence in accordance with GC 56425. The commission shall conduct a service review of the municipal services provided in the county or other appropriate area designated by the commission. Mr. Knox.
Thank you, Chair Flores. After 9 years of doing this job, you would think that an annexation application would be routine. And then a project like this comes along. It is by far the most complex annexation process that we've had during my time, my tenure. Several people have contacted LAFCo and would like clarification on the proceedings, so I'll take some time and try to do my best to present a clear picture of what's being asked for tonight. In March 2023, a request was made for attendance at a meeting in Tehachapi to discuss health care in East Kern. The presentation centered on a hospital that has struggled through COVID-19 pandemic, accumulating significant debt and seeking ways to raise revenue and stabilize its financial situation. Ridgecrest Regional Hospital determined that, as a nonprofit, it does not receive the same reimbursement rates as government-operated hospitals. It was ineligible for certain grants and intergovernmental transfers and could not engage as equal partnerships with other government agencies. It is important to clarify that there is a physical location known as Ridgecrest Regional Hospital. There's a hospital, and there is also a nonprofit organization by the same name that administers and operates the hospital along with various other facilities and programs. Unless otherwise specified, references to Ridgecrest Regional Hospital pertains to the nonprofit entity. When discussing the physical property, the physical hospital, the term facility is used. Mr. Rice will display a list of these services that the hospital provides, which includes mental health, senior and long-term care, dentistry, home health services, ambulance services, among others. The original concept proposed was the creation of a brand new healthcare district. However, as it was explained that the most recent district formation took 5 years and the one before that took 12, alternate options were quickly considered, shifting the conversation towards existing healthcare districts. Ridgecrest and the entire Indian Wells Valley currently lack a healthcare district, which is not uncommon. The closest district within Kern LAFCo's jurisdiction is East Kern Healthcare District, about which little was initially known. It was later discovered that the district has not directly provided healthcare services. Instead, it owns commercial buildings in California City that are leased to healthcare providers, functioning essentially as a landlord. The district currently has one part-time staff member, a vacant general manager position, and a board of directors. Engagement has primarily been with the board chair, Kern Macedonio, who is here tonight and available to answer questions. Following discussions with Tom Hayes, a consultant with Ridgecrest Regional Hospital, who is also here tonight and available for questions, an agreement was reached to expand the boundaries of East Kern Healthcare District, which is why we're here tonight. The proposed expansion would extend beyond California City to the Inyo County line, encompassing Ridgecrest and the hospital facilities and significant portions of surrounding unincorporated area. Mr. Rice can put up the map of the proposed area. A common question concerns the rationale behind the proposed boundary expansion. There are three primary reasons. First, to include individuals who are likely to use district services. Second, to allow those individuals to run for the district's board of directors or vote for candidates they believe that will best represent their interests. Other areas were considered for this proceeding, including Trona and Boron, which has a Muroc Hospital District, which collects funding for one ambulance to be purchased every 5 years. The complexity of this annexation would have been exacerbated by including these areas outside of Kern County and merging two healthcare districts together. Once an agreement is reached between Ridgecrest Regional Hospital and East Kern Healthcare District, and it has been proven to be a successful relationship, then expansion into other areas should be considered. While residents of Northeast Kern County require access to healthcare, so does the military. The China Lake Naval Weapons Center, whose primary mission involves weapons testing, reportedly only has something like an upgraded first aid station. As such, the base relies on Ridgecrest Regional Hospital for medical services. In other words, when you blow things up, having a fully functioning hospital nearby is a necessity. One challenge with the proposed annexation is the absence of a formal written agreement between East Kern Healthcare District and Ridgecrest Regional Hospital, outlining how the relationship would function. Without such agreement, it was difficult to determine whether the district should have requested a portion of the 1% property tax from the proposed annexation area. Although there were inappropriate and inaccurate discussions with the CAO's office and assessor's office regarding this issue, the hospital has conceptually agreed to cover any additional cost incurred by the district, rendering the tax issue moot. Another concern is whether the district, with only a part-time staff member and board, has the capacity to take on expanded responsibilities, furthering the need for outside help. In case someone missed what I just said, neither the district or the hospital is requesting any additional portion of the property tax collected within the annexation area or any additional taxes as part of the proposal. In a letter requested from the hospital, Ridgecrest Regional Hospital agreed to fund any external assistance that the district may need to negotiate an agreement. This is particularly important given the complexity of hospital operations and the district's limited management capacity. A copy of the letter is in the agenda packet for you to go over. The second iteration of the idea involved gifting the hospital facility to the district, which would in turn lease them back to the nonprofit Ridgecrest Regional Hospital. In turn, the district would enter into an agreement with the nonprofit to operate all healthcare services. However, it was later discovered that the facility proposed for transfer is also collateral for the hospital's debt, meaning the district would be assuming the debt, and objections were raised to this arrangement. As a result, a revised proposal was developed. Under this new concept, Ridgecrest Regional Hospital would retain ownership of the facilities and lease them out to the district. Additionally, a management agreement would be established for Ridgecrest Regional Hospital to oversee programs and services. The district would apply to the California Department of Public Health to become a licensed operator of the hospital and would assume the hospital's provider agreements. This will allow for increased reimbursement, grant funding and intergovernmental transfers not available to the hospital now, while not burdening the district with debt. This proposal does not fully resolve Ridgecrest Regional Hospital's financial challenges. In addition to the annexation plan, the hospital has signed a new funding agreement with the Navy and developed a financial turnaround plan, a summary of which is included in the municipal service review. It is also unclear what healthcare reforms will come out of Washington and how they will affect this relationship. Again, there is no additional taxation. This annexation is consistent with the general plan, regional transportation plan, or specific plan, is consistent with commission policies, conforms to assessor parcels, and we have an indemnification agreement. There is no functional overlap, although Kern Medical Authority could be considered an overlap, but the authority has no official boundaries and is exempt from LAFCo authority. The proposed sphere of influence amendment is coterminous with the proposed revision of the district boundary. For those who are not LAFCo geeks, that means the boundary and the sphere of influence are the same. The municipal service review was put together to answer the 7 basic questions that are required, but the document is where much of the analysis of whether this is a project that will best serve the people in northeastern Kern County resides. While there are concerns about the district capacity and experience, the uncertainty of what the final agreement between the district and hospital will look like, and the uncertainty of where healthcare is going on a national level, this annexation appears to be heading in the right direction. The East Kern Healthcare District does not currently provide district health services to the community. As such, healthcare is considered an inactive service or inactive function of service granted under the Healthcare Principle Act. While this annexation and potential agreement, the district will be applying for certification to provide hospital services from the state. To do so, the district is required to have healthcare as an active service. CEQA is handled by a notice of exemption, and affected and overlapping agencies and districts were notified. Comments were provided and utilized in the writing of this report. We have received opposition to this annexation. As such, proceedings are not eligible under Government Code Section 56662 and 5663 to waive the protest hearing. The process required by the Cortese-Knox-Hertzberg Act has been followed, including notices to affected agencies and any notices and publications required by law. So with that, there are 3 recommendations. On 1837, the sphere of influence, it is recommended that the commission consider the environmental document prepared by the district and approve 1837 sphere of influence amendment to East Kern Healthcare District with conditions recommended by the executive officer. Item 1838, the annexation, it is recommended that the commission approve the annexation number 1838 to East Kern Healthcare District number 2 and activate a healthcare service as an active service with the requirements of notice, hearing, and protest hearing not be waived and subject to conditions recommended by the executive officer. And lastly, 1839, the municipal service review. Adopt East Kern Healthcare District Municipal Service Review, update and consider the notice of exemption by the district for this project.
Okay.
Back to the chair.
Thank you, Mr. Knox, for that extensive report. Okay, so now that brings us to item 8A. Any public comment on the 1837 East Kern Healthcare District Sphere of Influence Amendment? Okay, seeing none.
We have one online.
Oh, okay, thank you, thank you. I forgot.
online.
Okay, proceed.
Enable them to talk. Sorry. Roll us first. Allow to talk. I got it.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. First off, I want to say thank you for doing that staff report. That was a lot of great information. My name is Jessica Rojas, and I'm actually a board member for East Kern Healthcare District. And the statements that you made actually educate us more than we've ever been educated. Unfortunately, I am a new board member to East Kern Healthcare District. I was seated in December and sworn in, and since then have been asking for more details on this annexation because it just didn't make sense to me. Prior to being sat on the board, I was staff for East Kern Healthcare District, and when it was first brought to the board's attention, or the community and district's attention, it was brought saying that California City would have the right to vote for this in last year's election. And as time came closer, then it changed and switched to say, no, California City does not vote on this, that it's going to be Ridgecrest who votes on this. I do have somebody from the public in Ridgecrest that has been zooming into our meetings lately, wanting to also get clarity and transparency on this annexation. And unfortunately, our president has not been transparent enough with the entire board for us to make any true educated decisions. We have not voted on any of the things that you're necessarily voting on, other than saying that LAFCo will go forward with their steps and Ridgecrest will go forward with their steps. So I do also want to correct one thing. I'm not sure if your part-time staff member was prior to today's date or not, but we currently have no part-time staff member and no GM, which we've been fighting to hire since January and February for staff and for a GM. So I'm not trying to say that we're brown-nosed bears, but I am trying to say that I, as a board member, would like to possibly have some of these votes tabled a little bit more until our board of directors are able to review this video. I'm not sure if all of us are on Zoom right now, can have that true clarity to really stamp on this annexation. A concern of our board members, as well as the community that have reached out to us, is the notion of not having a true contract done with Ridgecrest for this annexation, as mentioned in your conversation, stating that our concern is losing our seats as a board. We've been told by the president and even, well, mostly the president and whoever was speaking on behalf of us, that that's not even part of the discussion right now, that this is only the beginning stage to start a dialogue. And it seems to me that this is way beyond a dialogue, and I would like to have more clarity as a board and as our community. The other thing of a concern is that it's been mentioned that you guys are saying we don't provide any healthcare services and that we just do landlord-tenant things. I do know we've had a track record of being landlord-tenant, but we do have the opportunity, and the new boards have the vision to bring more services, which I think is what gives them Ridgecrest Hospital the opportunity to say they aren't bringing us any services because we are being classified as a district that does not provide services. And that is inaccurate. We are not a district that does not provide services. We are supposed to be a district that is supposed to be providing services on top of our landlord tenants. So I don't want that verbiage to be the reason why Ridgecrest's CEO at our Q&A stated he does not plan to bring any services to our community. Our community, as well as the new board of directors, have a concern about not having services for our community. And that's all that I would like to go ahead and say, please.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Rojas. Appreciate the comments. I did have a question for staff before we move to the second one that might be easily clarified. There was a question about what members of the public get to vote on this, from what area? Did you hear that?
Yes.
Can you clarify that?
Yeah, it would be those within the annexation area.
Okay.
We
So
also-
not the Cal City area, the Ridgecrest area?
Yeah, we notify all registered voters and all landowners within, and we also notify anyone within 200 feet.
Okay. Thank you. Hope that answers your question, Ms. Rojas. And then also, thanks for the clarification about your staffing arrangements and your general manager. At this time, we'll go to the second speaker. I understand we have a second speaker.
Ron Porter.
Okay. Welcome, Mr. Porter. Miss-
Mr. Porter?
Is that better?
Yes, there we go. Welcome, Mr. Porter.
I apologize. I don't use Zoom very often.
No worries, no worries. You're on deck.
My problem is we're getting the cart before the horse. and they're asking all of us to approve a pig and a poke. We need something that says, okay, this is what's going to occur. This is what we're going to get. We need a pros and cons, what we're going to have. Right now we're saying it's a maybe. We might get something, we might not get something. We have no idea what we're buying. And they need to sit down, and your board needs to sit down and say, this is what we're going to actually end up with. At least a general idea more than just a guess. That's my biggest problem. I've read as much as I can find on it, and I have no idea. Are we going to benefit from it? Are we going to lose from it? What's going to happen 5 years from now? Is it going to be a government control taking over our hospital and our health care? We need to understand that stuff.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Porter. Does that conclude your comment?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Next speaker, please.
Michael Neal.
Welcome, Mr. Neal.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. What I had to say about this closely is akin to what Mr. Porter just had to say. We had a town hall meeting last week about this, and basically what we came away with was a bunch of questions that really didn't have definitive answers. I had to go to investigation work on my own to find out one important thing, and that is what was going to be the status of the hospital upon this annexation. And let me clarify one thing. Now, we're just talking about item A right now. Is that true?
Correct.
Okay.
8A.
So the sphere of influence.
Yes, sir.
Amendment. Okay. Well, I assume that has to happen before you do the annexation. So I'm going to save some comments for the annexation part, but I oppose strongly this expanding the sphere of influence amendment, doing this amendment to the sphere of influence, because the hospital apparently does not plan on being part of the district. And I was told this by the board chairman of the hospital, and verified that a second time with their semi kind of unofficial public affairs officer, but one who's been tagged to speak with this. And she said that this was told to the public. However, the last time that statement was made was over 16 months ago. You forget a lot in 16 months. And we forgot enough to not even ask that question, or if we did touch on the question, we got a non-definitive answer. Well, the definitive answer is hospital wanted to have this annexation. They wanted it so it make it possibly would be easier for them to get more funds, but they're not going to become part of it. They just want us to become part of it, meaning i.e. the residents and all their properties in what I'm going to call Upper East Kern. Nobody besides the hospital, no other property owner, no other voter in that area asked for this to happen. It's strictly a attempted deal between the current East Care Healthcare District and the hospital proper, the management, staff, leadership, so forth and so on. So I don't feel this is a proper way to go about expanding people into a district, where they're going to say, we're going to get tax money from you or not. They have the right by law to go for assessment taxes on us. And as most of you, I'm sure you're all aware, those are all 218 processes, which never get defeated. So if it's proposed, it's going to happen. And I'm not asking for this. Mr. Porter's not asking for this. I don't know any citizen in Upper East Kern that is asking for this, unless I hear some tonight. I haven't yet to hear anybody who has said they want this, as of their own desire. This has strictly been, the best I can gather from day one, a move between Ridgecrest Regional Hospital and East Kern Healthcare District. And you just heard from a member of the board of the East Kern Healthcare District who said they have been informed very well. So I think that this is not in good shape to go forward. And I believe that's all I have.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Neal. We appreciate your comments before LAFCo. Madam Clerk, are there any more comments? Okay. Next comment, please.
Sean Bradley.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, welcome, Mr. Bradley. We can hear you.
Hi. So I'm actually a community activist in California City, where East Kern Healthcare District currently operates. And it's kind of unfortunate that some people, I guess, are kind of left in the dark of, what this really means. So I guess I can address it in a high level standpoint. That it is basically what people would consider more like a partnership. So when it comes to healthcare systems, especially in smaller areas, they're facing financial crises. So they have to look at opportunities to avoid shutting down, which would obviously affect the people of Ridgecrest that they currently services and those abutting people like the military thing out there. So in a nutshell, what it does is it gives them an opportunity to be able to tap into additional ways to generate funds to be able to sustain their operation and be able to provide, healthcare services to their current existing patients, and be able to provide your services, right? Because healthcare is life. Without it, nothing matters. But at the end of the day, that's basically what it really is in a nutshell. So it's not like it's going to cost you as a resident or a lot owner anymore that you pay today. It's not incurring costs to the public. It's basically like a benefit. So I look at it as a partnership that helps the Ridgecrest Regional continue to operate at the current levels without having to possibly lay people off, cut down services, really impact the healthcare of the people that reside in those areas and utilize their services currently. But it also provides a benefit to the healthcare district as a whole, right? Because as a two-way thing, it provides an opportunity for, if Ridgecrest can succeed and grow, generally healthcare systems and hospitals, they start creating ambulatory centers or specialty offices outside of their geographical immediate area, which means to other communities that the healthcare district serves that one day they can provide healthcare services to those other communities who don't even have anything. Because again, it's access to healthcare. So I look at it as anything as a public, a resident within this area, that it is a benefit. That to say no to something is basically saying, we'll take the risk, roll the dice, and if they start affecting our services or they have less providers in the ER at a given time, and now you got to wait 35 minutes in the emergency room, that extra 35 minutes can cost you your life, if you're having really, issues that need immediate medical attention. It includes ambulances and things like that. So, it's a joint effort to provide additional services as we grow and the need becomes more dire. And when it comes to the East Kern Healthcare District, I do attend all their meetings. This has been brought up there. A lot of these questions have been addressed to the board. I'm not sure why some are claiming, that they're not aware of many things when really it's been told. Maybe they weren't listening when it was being told. But many of us in this community are for this annexation, more so not just for the people of Ridgecrest, but for us here in California City. So I'm for this all the way 100%. If anything, it's only going to help healthcare in our area rather than harm it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bradley. Next speaker, please.
Sarah Werson.
Hi, thank you. My name is Sarah Werson, and I live in Ridgecrest and have for 14 years. And I would like to just support what Mr. Bradley said. And in answer to Mr. Neal, there are people in Ridgecrest, myself among them, who support this annexation. I support it because I've seen so many doctors leave due perhaps to the financial fix that Ridgecrest Regional Hospital is in. And I want to see better and consistent healthcare remain here in this small, isolated rural town. So thank you very much for allowing me to speak and giving me this opportunity.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Werson. Next speaker.
Lorraine Horney.
Hi.
Hi, Lorraine.
I was
welcome.
wondering. Hi. I'm a little confused on whether Ridgecrest says they will be part of it or will not, because I've heard both. So what's the current status of that, Ridgecrest Regional?
Ma'am, Ms. Horny, can you repeat your question?
Sure. I've heard twice tonight, once where somebody said Ridgecrest Regional does not want to be part of the annexation, and one that it said they would be. So which one is true?
You know, it's our understanding that both entities have approached us to begin the initial stages of exploring this, but I'll let staff comment further, okay? Mr. Knox, you want to take that one?
All right.
I'll have Mr. Hayes speak to this later when it's his turn. But yes, the hospital is the one who's funded this effort, both paying for the annexation fees, paying for the municipal service review, paying for consultants to work on this. So yeah, they've been a part of this project all the way along.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you very much.
Okay, you're welcome. Thank you. Next speaker, please.
We don't have any more online.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Okay, that brings us to, is there any public comment here? No, okay. That brings us to commission comment or questions for 1837 on the sphere of influence. Commissioner Endicott.
Yeah, so we, in Ridgecrest, we did hold a town hall last Thursday. I know that Mike and Mike Neal and Ron Porter were not overly happy with the idea of this going through, but it was not my impression that there was nobody in the room that was supportive of this. If anything, there were a lot of questions being asked that I didn't feel like I had all the answers to. So I'm happy that some of those that were asking questions are present online and present in person, so that we can get some questions answered. One of the things that has continually been brought up to me by residents, and if this is a time where I can ask Tom, or do I need to wait till later?
That would be at the chair's discretion.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, if you have a question, you can ask now. Fine.
Yeah, if you can go up there. This was a question that I got quite continually during the meeting and then after the meeting, both in person and online. The question was, will this move be used to send Ridgecrest taxes to Cal City? Will we just be sending a large portion of our taxes to fund Cal City with this move?
I'm not sure I understand the question completely, but the purpose of this annexation, or the purpose of the hospital wanting this, is to increase the reimbursement to the hospital. District hospitals have the advantage of getting more money from the state and the federal government than private, nonprofit, and profit hospitals. We calculated that the additional revenue would be roughly $3.5 to $4 million per year. That was estimated about a year and a half ago. The new budget has thrown some of those numbers into question, or the most recent bill that was passed. Whether taxes are going to go to Cal, first of all, there's not going to be any new taxes. We've been very clear that we didn't want any of the reallocation of the taxes that the East Kern district currently gets. We didn't want a reallocation of those. We were also very clear that we wanted to add services in Cal City. I had made the commitment that we would put in a primary care clinic in Cal City. Ridgecrest Regional would do that as a part of this. So we support the annexation because there's going to be potential for extra revenues to the hospital. And if you have any questions on that, I'll answer to the best of my knowledge, but it's very complex the way hospitals get reimbursed. But we had a consultant out of Sacramento estimate these additional revenues for us, and it was significant, and we'd be absolutely foolish not to consider that based on what has happened to the hospital the last couple of years post-COVID. So, Mr. Endicott, I'm not sure if I answered your question
Yes.
or not.
No,
So-
that does, because most of the individuals were under the impression that if we approve the SOI and the MSR, that automatically we would be paying more taxes, and that tax money would then be given to Cal City. And I continued to tell them, and even read the definition of SOI and MSR to let them know what action we're actually discussing, just on the geographic landscape of what the boundaries would be. And the MSR provides what services can be provided in that area. So
Just one more comment. We had a number of public meetings over in Ridgecrest. This is about a year and a half ago. We also had some public meetings in Cal City. Not very many people attended in Cal City. Quite a few attended in Ridgecrest. Probably, can't remember, Karen, how many meetings we probably had?
We had 2 meetings in each location, maybe as many as 50 people in person.
Yeah, so we had quite a few people. We had a lot of comment. And again, we feel that this is the best way to go in order to continue the success of the hospital, to continue to be able to offer services in Ridgecrest and in Cal City. So,
I am being reminded that our meetings, we had virtual meetings and in-person meetings in both locations.
so we had virtual meetings as well as public meetings.
And then, Tom, for the record, can you get your last name and title?
Yeah, it's Thomas Hayes, Hayes.
Thank you.
And currently I'm the interim CEO and consultant for the hospital. The existing CEO, Jim Suver, is still the CEO, but he's moved into the chief financial office because we've been having a difficult time recruiting for a chief financial officer.
Okay, thank you, sir. Does that?
Yeah,
that concludes your comments. Okay. Thank you, Commissioner Endicott, for that additional context. And
Want me to stay here? No?
we might bring you back up, but you can sit down for right now. Thank you. If there's any further questions. Okay, any other commissioner comments or questions for item 8A, sphere of influence?
Chair Flores, we have more online who'd like to speak.
Okay, sure. Okay, next speaker, please.
I don't know. I'll call you back.
Are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir. Go ahead. Just name for the record.
Will McMillan.
Thank you, Mr. McMillan.
California City.
Thank you.
I was curious if you guys were able to explain on how a private company can receive government funds from East Kern Healthcare District legally. I know in the past on a lot of their voting, they've only voted for, I think there's only been one organization that they've even allowed to have any money as a nonprofit. So if you guys are able to just explain to me how that works.
Yeah, Mr. Hayes, welcome. Come on back. Thank you.
Did you hear me?
Yeah.
So a private company can't receive federal funds, can't receive those funds. That's why we want to expand the district, and eventually, in order to get those funds, the hospital would have to come under the district. We would have to negotiate with the district to have the hospital become part of the district, be licensed by the state of California, take over all of our payer contracts, and then be able to receive the funds from the federal government that are additional funds that we don't get now. But we can't do it as a private. That's why we want to make this change.
Thank you. Okay, next speaker, please.
Michael Neal?
There you go. Ask him again, please.
Michael Neal?
I'm here now. Can you hear me?
Yes. Go ahead.
So I just want to respond to a couple of things that have just been said. And first, before I do that, let me repeat what I said earlier. This is directly from a conversation with the hospital, the chairman of the board of the hospital. He said that the hospital has no intention of joining the district at this time. So we'll just repeat that so it gets across, because I didn't think people got that last one. I just said it a while ago. The hospital has stated they do not intend to become part of the district at this time. We were just told that if they became part of the district, they could get more money, but they're not planning on doing that in any time in the near future. Basically, they're going to continue to look at their options, and if that looks like their best option, then that's what they will do. However, in the meantime, they want everybody else, basically, except for the hospital, to be put into this district. They want this annexation to go forward. I think that's the wrong way to do it. Without a commitment by the hospital to be part of the district, why should the rest of Ridgecrest be part of the district? Where there's basically no benefit to us without the districts becoming part of it and participating in it. So I don't see any real good reason for them, for this to go forward and proceed.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Neal. Any other public comment?
No.
Thank you.
Mr. Ron Porter?
Mr. Porter?
I'm trying to get to him.
Oh, okay.
Too many windows.
No worries. No worries. Bear with us.
Go ahead, he's on.
Mr. Porter?
He is still muted. He needs to unmute.
Okay. Mr. Porter, it appears that on our end, you look like you're muted. So could you unmute your side so we can hear you?
There he is.
There we go.
There we go. We can hear you. Go ahead, sir.
The computer wasn't listening to me. Well, my big problem now I'm running into is they're talking about it, if it becomes public, then they're going to have to redo the entire structure of the Ridgecrest Hospital, and who's going to control it? Another government entity? Are they going to have another public elected people to run the hospital? That's why I said earlier, we have to have more definition of what's going to be there. They're going to get more money from the state. What kind of strings are attached to that money? Do they benefit the community? We just have to have answers, and we have none at this point. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Porter. Any more speakers?
Lorraine?
Hello again.
Hello?
I understand that you're saying we're a private hospital now and it would need to go to public hospital. Does that change our rural health status? And also, does that become a for-profit hospital? Hopefully.
So, you're getting into some hospital designations that our board's not going to answer, but I'll defer this one to you, Mark. Yeah, go ahead, Mr. Hayes. Tom.
The hospital does not become a for-profit hospital, if that was the question.
Okay.
We do
That's
not.
part of it.
What was the other part?
So if we are changing from private to public, would we still be designated as a rural health hospital
Yes. Answer is yes.
with those
We
constraints?
are rural now,
Okay, great.
and we're still going to be designated as a rural hospital in the future. We were just reclassified.
Awesome. Thank you.
Because Kern County apparently has been reclassified as an urban county, and that impacted the hospital, but we were able to get a reclassification to rural from the critical access, and I'm sorry to be complicated here, but critical
Very
access
helpful.
hospital status to another status. And so we're still,
Okay.
we're still rural,
Good to know. Thanks for the clarification.
and we have been for quite a while.
Thank you.
Yeah. Ostensibly, it would appear rural, but I'm not the definitive source. Next speaker, please.
What we have is people who've already spoken.
Yeah, I was gonna ask that. at the Board of Supervisors, we limit it to one comment. And so I don't, what's LAFCo's?
Is that
Sure.
at your discretion?
Yeah,
Yes.
so are there any new speakers on the topic of 8A, sphere of influence?
No.
Okay, thank you. So thanks everyone for your comments. At this point, I'll bring it back to our board here for commissioner comments or questions. Any comments or questions?
Quick question.
Sure. Commissioner Sirgosa.
This has been a very interesting conversation. Learning some things about hospitals and districts that I wasn't aware of. And question for Mr. Hayes. You had mentioned there was a consultant that was recruited. What was the name of the product deliverable that he provided to your hospital? And did that include any stakeholder comments or feedback?
I guess I'm not understanding the question. The consultant that we hired to analyze what we would achieve additionally in additional revenue, their name is Steve Clark and Associates, and they're out of Sacramento.
What was the document called?
I can't answer that. I don't know what it was an analysis of IGT reimbursements. IGT is the additional reimbursements, intergovernmental transfers that would occur as a result of the hospital becoming a district hospital.
All right, so it was very specific. It was a one-item deliverable analysis.
Absolutely.
It wasn't a community-wide document at all then?
No.
Okay.
No.
Thank you for that
It was as consultant agreements usually are, pretty thick.
Okay,
So,
thank you for that response.
Okay, thank you. Any more? Okay. Well, before I entertain a motion or not, I just want to say a few things. So thanks everyone for your participation, for the reports. Appreciate the hospital being here to answer some of the questions. Hopefully that added value to the discussion. So just to recap, there are no tax increases before our board tonight, correct? Correct, thank you.
Correct.
And then this will be a voting matter for Ridgecrest, not the Cal City area. And then there was some comments about whether or not the Ridgecrest Hospital was even interested in joining with the healthcare district, which I don't know what they're hearing out there because I'm not out there, but there's an application before this very commission that I think answers that, at least initially, that there is interest. And this would be the beginning stages of a possible partnership. So, and so that's what's before us right now. And there'll be other opportunities in the future if this moves forward for this to come back and for the public to have a input in the process, correct?
No, actually, well.
For protest?
Yes. Okay. If this is approved by the commission tonight, there will be a protest opportunity. We will hold a hearing in Ridgecrest, I believe on the 14th of October. We will send that notice out to all the landowners and all the registered voters, so they will have that again. Okay. So yes, that opportunity will exist.
Okay. So, so it's very, very interesting topic tonight. So, what I see as one commissioner that's before us is we have a hospital that's critical to serving the healthcare needs of the East Kern community. One, two, hospitals in general are struggling to make it. I sit on the Kern Medical Foundation board, serve on Kern Health Systems. It's a challenging environment. I understand, there's a lot of nuances and issues at work, but three, the base is so important here, China Lake. And so if this hospital goes under, that puts the base in significant jeopardy, which also puts the community of East Kern and Ridgecrest in jeopardy, given the economic importance of the base. So we have someone here that's trying to problem solve, work through the issues, what happens at a later future junction with the district, we don't control that. Hopefully, if this moves forward, they'll pick up the pieces and talk about next steps. But even if there are no next steps, really everything will just stay the same if things did break down. But what's before us is the sphere of influence, and I'd be happy to make a motion.
I have a quick question. Based on the recommendations by the executive officer, point number 2 was that we approve annexation number 2, right? Like that was dependent on, the approval of this was dependent on the annexation of number 2, is that correct?
Correct. If you do not approve the annexation, the sphere of influence will remain what it is today.
Okay.
It will not be expanded.
Okay.
So, thank you,
Can I
but,
clarify just one thing?
sure.
We wouldn't, if we weren't interested in doing the annexation in the district, this whole process, we wouldn't be here tonight.
Correct.
And we wouldn't have done this, so.
Correct, that's it. Yeah, I alluded to that, but thank you. So, item 8A, sphere of influence still.
Did you make a motion?
I made a motion, yeah.
I was
Second, McKibben.
Okay, good. Somebody seconded it.
We have a motion and second. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Commissioner Ayon,
Aye.
Commissioner Clark,
Yes.
Commissioner Endicott,
Aye.
Commissioner Flores,
Yes.
Commissioner Fowler,
Yes.
Commissioner Gonzalez.
Yes.
Commissioner McKibben.
Yes.
Commissioner Zaragoza.
Aye.
All ayes, motion pass.
Okay, thank you. That brings us now to item B, which we've already heard the staff report. And Mr. Knox, so did the public comment encompass all 3 of the items, or do we have to rehear public comment for item B?
It wasn't stated.
Pardon?
What, really, that's at your discretion.
Okay.
My recommendation is, if those who have not spoken already would like to speak, this probably be a good time to allow them to speak.
Okay,
But if
so-
they've already spoken,
Yeah, we've heard comprehensive public comment multiple times on all 3, but is there any new public comment for item 8B? This would be the annexation number 2 for 1838 East Kern Healthcare District. Any new public comment? Yes, ma'am. We have someone in person. Come, you can take the mic, the podium. Just state your name for the record.
My name's Renee West-Delusk. I've lived in Ridgecrest since July of 1990. And I am for the annexation number 2 and what you just voted on, and the MSR. My situation is I've kept up, I've done my homework. The people that have been speaking to you didn't bother to attend the April 5th or April 6th Zoom meetings on the hospital situation, and that they were exploring this East Kern Healthcare District annexation. This is back in April 5th, April 6th, and the April 11th in-person meeting, town hall that we had in Ridgecrest of 2024. Then as far as I know, the East Kern Healthcare District did vote to move ahead with this application at their meeting April 16th, 2024, and that's probably why Ms. Rojas doesn't know that there was a vote by the East Kern Healthcare District, because I watched it on Zoom. I have been doing my homework, I've been asking questions, and I am for this annexation, but I'm getting fed up with the people in Ridgecrest who don't bother reading our newspapers, don't bother talking to our elected officials to get information. As a citizen of Ridgecrest, or even a citizen of Kern County, every citizen has every resident, I should say, has the responsibility to do their homework. And I am in opposition of those people who are against this annexation. The hospital's in dire straits. It's either we do this plan and try to save it, or for sure we're not going to have a hospital in 5 years. That came up at the town hall meeting. There's people there thinking, oh, we've got time. Oh, we don't care. you financially mismanaged everything. If they had gone to the meetings, they would have learned why the hospital got into the financial situation. It was no fault of their own. You can't control Mother Earth when they're going to have 2 earthquakes. You can't control when there's a pandemic outbreak of COVID-19 ravaging the nation. And the problem is they lost reimbursement during COVID because Medicare and Medicaid didn't pay for the extensive hospitalizations those patients needed. Rural hospitals, it costs more to staff them, etc. They often have to pay higher salaries to get people in an emergency basis. There were times our hospital had to pay over $100 or more an hour just to have RNs there. Okay, they got into debt trying to take care of the seriously ill COVID patients. Medicare and Medicaid did not come near up to pay up for the real costs of that. There was no financial malfeasance here. I've heard that at the meeting too. And I just want to say, this is our only chance I see to save our hospital. And I'm asking for this whole board's cooperation. And I appreciate your unanimous vote on the first issue. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Lusk. Any other, yeah, we can please take the podium. Thank you. Just state your name for the record.
Hi, I'm Sandra Van Scatter, and I am also a Ridgecrest resident. My public comment is really just to kind of maybe give a little bit of background because like Ms. Lusk, I also did some reading and some research, and I kind of understand why Ridgecrest would choose to join an existing healthcare district versus try to invent their own wheel. So I applaud Ridgecrest Regional Hospital for pursuing this. Well, I have more questions. Regarding the earthquake abatement, there was a timeline that shifts if they become part of the healthcare district. Would you be able to explain some of that? Thank you.
So with regard to the seismic abatement that has to happen with hospitals, we're required to bring the hospital up to 2030 standards in the year of 2030 or by the year of 2030. If we get to be a district hospital, there's an opportunity to extend that deadline for up to 5 years. And that's something that just district hospitals have. I can't answer why, it's just district hospitals, but it is. So extending that, and that's going to be probably for Ridgecrest upwards of $20 million to have to do the seismic or the structural, the non-structural renovations that are required by the state. So did I answer your question?
Yes. Can I ask an additional question, a follow-up?
Yes.
So what happens if the annexation and the hospital does not become part of the healthcare district? What happens with that process?
Well, that's a good question. I'm not sure I can answer that. If the hospital does not become part of the district, what happens with the seismic renovations? Yes. Well, first of all, we can extend the deadline, so it gives us more time to be able to find the financing for those renovations. We're kicking the can down the road. Okay. But we certainly don't have the money today to do that. We don't have the resources today. Hopefully we'll have it in the future. We're probably going to have to borrow money in order to do that, in order to make those retrofits to the hospital. And, you know, and actually, when I said $20 million, that's in current year dollars. So in 2030 dollars, it's going to be, you know, 30-40% more.
Okay.
So anyway.
Yeah, thank you. Any more public comment here? Okay, seeing no new public comment, that brings us to.
We have some online.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Are those folks who have spoken before or new?
They both
Yeah,
have.
this is for new speakers, please.
Okay.
No new speakers.
Okay, so we're still under item B, annexation number 2. Any commissioner comments or questions? Commissioner Fowler.
This is for staff. Blair, I wonder if you would explain to the people listening and present with us how the protest policy works when you have your meeting out in Ridgecrest. What do people do if they are in favor of the annexation, and what do those do who oppose the annexation?
Yes, the meeting on the 14th is more of an informational meeting than it is a protest hearing. It gives folks the opportunity to come and ask questions. Protests can be submitted to LAFCo anywhere between the end of the meeting today until the next meeting. So that gives them plenty of time to turn those in. Remind me the rest of your question.
Well, I guess. How would someone protest? We've heard a few people who object. How would they find a protest form? How do they need to do that if they do object?
We will send out a notice to all registered voters and landowners that will have a link to our website that shows where an actual protest form is, so that it's available that way. They can also call us and ask for one. We can send it to them. There are multiple ways we can do that. If you are in favor, you don't have to do anything. This is strictly for those who protest, and if it's over 25% protest, it would go to an election. And if it's over 50% plus one protest, this proceeding is dead. So that's how that process works. Yep.
Thank you. Thank you, Commissioner Fowler. Okay. Commissioner Endicott.
One of the other things that have been brought up, both at the town hall and then afterwards, and I just wanted a little clarity from staff. How long, starting today, would it take for RRH to create their own district?
The last district we tried to form took 5 years, and unfortunately, it actually failed at election. And so they spent 5 years and a considerable amount of time to create a rec and park district. A healthcare district would be even more complicated. The district we formed before that took 12 years. That's not all LAFCo time. That's working with the state with funding issues and CEQA issues. And yeah, it took a long time to get through that process. It would probably be somewhere in between those two dates.
Because that was a common refrain from individuals, well, just have them join or make their own district. And I knew that the time was lengthy. I thought 4 to 5 years. 12 seems a little
We would
heavy.
try not to be 12 years,
Yeah.
yes.
That's the end of my question. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. Not seeing any further comment.
Actually,
Ms. Rojas, who spoke previously, says she has more comments specific to the annexation. And she's one of the board members for East Kern.
Okay.
So it's up
Yeah,
to
sure,
you
I'll-
whether
yeah,
you want to
she's-
take that.
She's a board, yeah, let her speak.
Okay.
Can you ask her to raise her hand again?
Yeah. Ms. Rojas, can you please raise your hand in the computer
Yeah, I found it now. Okay, I think I got it.
so we can find you?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
There you go.
Hi, thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you. Actually, the question I did have, the last gal kind of answered, like, what was the next stages? What is it that we were able to do if there were people that opposed it? So that was covered. But I did notice on this number B item, it did say that it didn't have 100% the residents' consent. Is there a way of like re-voting for that? Is that something you usually want to go for? What, may I get clarity as to why that was stated on this report?
Mr. Knox?
Yes. A protest hearing is the default when you're doing an annexation. The commission has to approve not having a protest hearing, and there's two ways you can do that. One is if there are 100% of the landowners or registered voters. If 100% of the landowners or registered voters submit that they are in favor, the protest hearing can be waived. There are something like 13,000 properties and close to 30,000 people. There was no way to possibly get 100% consent that way. The second way to get for the protest hearing not to move forward is if there are no protests submitted to LAFCo. We have had opposition, so at this point there will be a protest hearing unless the commission decides not to move forward with this annexation.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Knox. That's the notation on the agenda that we did not have 100%. But thank you for the clarification on the others. Yeah, I think that might exhaust public comment. How about any commissioner comments before I call the question and ask for a motion? Okay.
I have no comments, but I'll call motion.
Okay, thank you. We have a motion.
Fowler, second.
And we have a second. Madam Clerk, would you please call the vote?
Commissioner Ione?
Aye.
Commissioner Clark?
Yes.
Commissioner Endicott?
Aye.
Commissioner Flores?
Yes.
Commissioner Fowler?
Yes.
Commissioner McKibben? Commissioner Zaragoza?
Aye.
All ayes, motion passed.
Thank you. And the final item of the three would be item C, 1839 East Kern Healthcare District, and this is the Municipal Services Review. Any new comments, new public comments on the MSR?
No.
Okay, thank you. We do. Sure. You want to go ahead and take the podium? Yeah, go ahead and take the podium.
Renee West-Delusk, I live in Ridgecrest. One question I have is about this 3 to 4 million more per year as a result of annexation to the East Kern Healthcare District. Will we get higher reimbursement rates from the following: Medicaid, Medicare, private insurance, or other source of reimbursement? I don't know if Mr. Hayes could clarify this.
Yeah, Mr. Hayes, thank you.
Couldn't quite hear you, the question.
The projections of fiscal increases.
Yeah. So we get, the reimbursement that we get is going to be from the state and federal government. It's called intergovernmental transfers. The hospital puts a match in. So we estimated it, again, this is a year and a half to 2 years ago, to be $3.5 to $4 million. That comes from the federal government and the state government, and hopefully that answers the question. It doesn't come from private payers, from private insurance companies. It's just the federal government. And it's the complexity of how we get reimbursed as hospitals. So. Yeah, Medicaid and yeah, that's federal reimbursement, Medicare and Medicaid, both, yes. The answer is yes.
Does Ridgecrest Regional Hospital need to become a public hospital in order to access the benefits from being in the EKHCD?
The hospital has to become a district hospital, which is a public hospital. Not sure about the legal definition, but basically it's a district hospital that has to be governed by the, and Blair, you'll have to help me on some of this stuff in terms of how district hospitals are governed in terms of the government, the Brown Act and the whole piece of that. So, but it's my understanding that we would become a public hospital, but we're called a district hospital. So I hope that answers the question. I'm not trying to be evasive. So.
What does the timeline for funding the hospital adequately look like after tonight's meeting once the annexation is approved? What happens next, or what are the next steps? How long will the next steps take to get the hospital in a better financial position than it currently is in? Will it be 1 to 2 years?
So the big question is what kind of budget is the federal government going to come up with, and what kind of reductions do they have in plan for us, and when is that going to start? We're not sure what the date is. We're not sure that if it's going to be this year, 1 year, 2 years out. It's just a very uncertain environment right now, and if I were to give you my opinion, in order to access these additional funds, it's probably going to take at least a year, if not 2 years, to get to that point.
Will there be a change in the makeup of the board of the EKHCD to allow for the representation on the board from Ridgecrest?
So it's my understanding that if the annexation is approved, there will be 5 seats that will be available to all residents in the Ridgecrest area as well as the Cal City area. And people from Ridgecrest, people from Cal City can run for those seats, and those will be the people that will represent or be on the board of the East Kern District, will have oversight over the hospital.
So anyone in the boundaries?
I'm sorry?
Anyone in the boundaries can run?
Yes. That's much more succinct. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This has to do with a financial question. Because of the hospital's dire financial situation, will the hospital, why can't the county pay the $48,000 in property tax increase due to the annexation of the East Kern Healthcare District? I was thinking it's a hardship on the hospital enough. Why can't the county pay the $48,000?
The $48,000 is a small price to pay for getting an additional $3.5 to $4 million a year. So, we felt that putting that burden on the county probably isn't fair. County is having a hard enough time as it is. So we felt like if we could get that additional $3.5 to $4 million, guaranteeing $48,000 to the Eastern Kern Healthcare District Board is a small price to pay. So.
Thank you. Yeah, come. Yeah, let's wrap this up, because I in the interest of consistency and time, I've said no more old questions, only new questions. So let's wrap this up.
So, just to follow up with,
what's before us is the influence, the MSR.
Yes.
So I want to focus on the MSR, the
Mm-hmm.
annexation, which we did, the SOI, which we did. I don't want to necessarily get into hospital operations because it's not the venue.
Okay, understood. So that, I'll save that question for the next meeting in
Sure.
October.
Yeah,
Thank you.
or have a sidebar. Thank you. Okay.
Chair Flores?
Yeah.
We have folks online that have spoken before, but we've also had folks in the room who have spoken on multiple items. So
Yeah,
I'm
so,
not sure
so in the interest of consistency, I'm not going to entertain any old comments. I only want new comments to come before the board. New commenters.
New commenters or new comments?
New comments, new comments.
Thank you.
By someone that has not already commented.
The only two we have are ones that I've spoke before.
Okay. Yeah, if there's a specific comment with respect to the MSR, I'll do that one.
Okay, we have Ron Porter and Michael Neal, which one?
Okay. Yeah, let's wrap this up.
Mr. Porter.
Yeah, Mr. Porter?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Well, first off, it's a violation of the Brown Act. Each line item has to have a public comment. Mr. Neal originally asked if you were going to have comment on all of them, and you didn't have them. You can't just simply shut people down. My comments on this, and still we don't have an answer to, is what's public and what's private in this hospital. They keep saying they're going to annex it. Well, is it public? Does that mean it has to be publicly owned? It's going to be government owned? It's going to be shareholder owned? We don't have any questions. We're getting the cart way before the horse, even on this third agenda item. You need to answer questions. And my question here is, if we don't like the district, what do we have to do to get out of it 5 years from now?
So with this MSR approval, there's no linkage yet between the district or the hospital. That's a future arrangement that's outside of LAFCo that may or may not happen.
I understand. What authority are they having this protest hearing under?
That would be under the Cortese-Knox-Hertzberg Act, which is section 56,000 of the California Government Code.
Okay, so it's not constitutionally approved in California?
It is
State
constitutionally,
legislature, yes.
according to our attorney, it is constitutionally approved.
I mean, a protest hearing doesn't mean a republic or democratic form of government if you only have to have a certain percentage. So I don't understand this, but I will look it up. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Mr. Neal.
Hello, it's Mike Neal. Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead, Mr. Neal.
Okay. I got cut out of commenting on item B, but this applies to all three items. And what I have to say to you is a new subject matter, and I'm not repeating anything here. This annexation is not location centric for the Indian Wells Valley. It would go from Indian Wells Valley over the mountains down into Cal City, and we have a district that's spread out over about 60 miles. I am opposed to joining an existing district that's 50 miles away from Ridgecrest. That would have to have people, running back and forth, however it all worked out, long distances to meetings, and in areas who the needs are different. Indian Wells Valley has specific healthcare needs, and if they want to be part of a healthcare district, it needs to be a different district from Cal Cities, governed by the people that specifically in the valley proper, and the hospital needs to commit to join that district instead of fainting like they've done so far and say, well, we might not. I'll repeat again, I was told this by hospital leadership. So don't anybody assume when the annexation occurs, the hospital is going to be part of it, because it very well might not. Depends on them. So unless we were to get a new district centered around the Indian Wells Valley, with the hospital committing to be part of that, being a public entity with an elected board for the hospital, it's not going to be advantageous to the people of Ridgecrest. i.e. all this scare talk about they're going to go broke, they're going to go broke. That ain't going to happen. The DOD already gave the hospital a bunch of money last year. They are not going to say, oh, the hospital's broke, I guess we're going to remove a $4 billion Navy base. That's makes no sense whatsoever. The Navy is going to prop up the hospital if they need to do that. $1.4 million is chump change for the DOD. So it's no problem for them. So this scare stuff about the hospital going broke it's all speculative. It's all pie in the sky. And there's no more assurance that they're going to go broke than that one of the jets is going to fall out of the sky next week. So that's the conditions that only conditions I would ever go for a healthcare district in Ridgecrest. Otherwise, we can go like we've been going on. We still got healthcare, and I don't think it's going to disappear anytime soon. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Neal. Okay, so we're still under the municipal services review. Any commissioner comments? Okay.
No comments, but a motion.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Ione.
Second.
I don't approve at all.
Okay, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Ione,
Aye.
Commissioner Clark,
Yes.
Commissioner Endicott,
Aye.
Commissioner Flores,
Yes.
Commissioner Fowler,
Yes.
Commissioner McKibben,
Yes.
Commissioner Zaragoza.
Aye.
All ayes, motion pass.
Okay, thank you, everyone. That brings us to item D, 1853 Fraser Park Utility District. And this is a sphere of influence amendment.
Chair Flores?
Yep.
Can we take 3 or 4 minutes?
For break?
Of a break?
Yeah, sure.
And for folks who are on the Ridgecrest item, you're more than welcome to stay, but you also probably have a long drive home.
Yep.
So,
We'll take a 5-minute recess.
thank you.
Okay, welcome back. We're coming back to the meeting from our recess. We are now under, 1 second.
8D.
Item 8D, Fraser Park Public Utility District. This is a sphere of influence amendment, consideration of a proposed sphere of influence amendment to include multiple mutual water companies and urban developed areas as requested by the State Water Resources Control Board. Sequest notice of exemption. Mr. Knox, Executive Officer report.
Let me start by clarifying that what is before the commission today is not an annexation. Any action taken by the commission will take tonight will not allow Fraser Park PUD to take over or provide services to Lake of the Woods or anyone else within the proposed increase of the sphere of influence. It is unusual for the commission to have a sphere of influence in MSR without an annexation attached. The State Water Board is funding several projects to consolidate water providers in Kern County and throughout the state. Funds are allocated at different times for different segments of the project. As such, funding from the state brings us to this point of considering the sphere of influence, but not a full annexation. A sphere of influence is defined in California Government Code 56076 as a plan for the probable physical boundaries and service area of a local agency as determined by the commission. This allows for planning to happen before we get to the annexation process. The municipal service review answers 7 questions required of an MSR, which is fine. The MSR attempts to answer the question of whether there's enough water to serve everyone in Fraser Park, Lake of the Woods, and a handful of other properties on private wells. The MSR also addresses what infrastructure needs to be in place for Fraser Park PUD to provide additional services. That includes new water wells. Where to place wells in this area is difficult at best. I will use a highly technical term to describe the geology of Cuddy Valley. It's a mess. A successful well could be drilled and another be just 10 feet away and not hit any water. So it's kind of hit or miss. Without successful well drills, Fraser Park PUD would not have enough water to serve both. My understanding is that a new well will be drilled before the annexation comes forward. Further analysis will be conducted before the annexation will be taken to the commission for consideration. Today's action allows for state funding to find answers to some of these issues and more. Is my recommendation that the commission consider the environmental document prepared by the district and approve the sphere of influence for item 1853 for the Fraser Park Public Utilities District with conditions recommended by the executive officer, and the municipal service review, item 1854, to accept and file the Fraser Park Public Utilities District municipal service review.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Knox, for the staff report. That brings us to public comment on sphere of influence amendment for Fraser Park Utility District. Any public comment? Thank you. Welcome. Just state your name for the record. Thank you.
Thank you. My name is Joan Kotnick. Good evening, Honorable Chair, Commissioners, staff, and guests. I am the president of the Lake of the Woods Mutual Water Company Board of Directors. Our Board of Directors voted unanimously in support of the sphere of influence and the municipal service review. I'd like to repeat again, that was an unanimous vote in favor of them. However, our board has requested that I bring a few concerns to the attention of the LAFCo Commission. The Municipal Service Review reflects old information about the status of Lake of the Woods infrastructure, water supply, and financial status, and doesn't reflect the status as of June of 2024 when the application was submitted. Secondly, the Municipal Service Review does not accurately reflect Fraser Park's Public Utility District's water supply status as of June 2024, and that the water supply status has become worse than the June, worse in June. Oh, it has become worse since the time that it was described. Does that make sense? Sorry. Lastly, I should have brought my glasses. Okay, that's too big. The Municipal Service Review doesn't accurately reflect the Fraser Park Public Utility District's finances as of June 2024 or their future financial stability. If you want any further details on any of those concerns, feel free to ask any questions. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you, Joan.
Oh, just to reinforce, we are in support of it.
Okay, sure. And thank you that there's updated information on the conditions and the financing. We appreciate that. Any other public comment? Please come forward.
I'm Dee Jasper. I'm the district engineer for Fraser Park Public Utility District, and the guy responsible for most of the research has been done regarding the water supply in Cuddy Valley. We've done a lot of research. We've even put together a study, a 7-year study, to determine whether or not the water supply would be sufficient for a period of 7 years that would include 3 drought years and 3 normal years. Actually, a greater than normal year, a normal year, and a less than normal year, and started out the whole 7-year sequence in a drought. We've determined that there is water in Cuddy Canyon. It took a lot of time and a lot of money to explore the canyon. The canyon has not been mapped very accurately over the years because there's really not been a need for that. We did do that, and we selected 2 sites for 2 new wells. We drilled 2 test wells at about $100,000 each. This is not cheap work. We did an analysis. We have one of the best hydrogeologists in the state of California, Dr. Ken Schmidt, who assisted us in making the reviewing and making determinations as to the suitability of the water supply in the valley. We have concluded that the 2 sites that we have selected are the best 2 in the canyon to put wells. And our hydrogeologist has estimated that each well would have the capacity of about 1,000 gallons per minute. That's a big well. We don't plan to operate them at that capacity, but we do have the ability to actually operate those wells at that capacity if necessary. I have with me tonight is the district's general manager, Johnny Allison, and I think I've been with the district probably about 15 years, Johnny, when we started this. And, I was listening to the testimony prior to mine about how long it takes to put these things together. And believe me, I and Joan and Rick, Johnny, we all know how tough this is to do. It takes a lot of time and it takes a lot of money to get to the point where we are today. We elected to expand the sphere of influence prior to doing the annexation for the convenience. They both require a lot of mapping and a lot of effort, and we wanted to get the sphere of influence boundary amended first, and then we would go into the annexation, the details of the annexation. So that's why where we are today. And so if there are any questions, certainly I'm here to answer them if they're engineering related.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Jasper.
We have one more online.
Okay. We'll move to public comment online. Next speaker, please.
Hi, my name is Bindu Rao, and I own a property on just south of the Fraser Mountain Road. It's not very clear to me, which properties are impacted or involved. So it'd be nice if there's a map that we can look up and say, yes, mine is involved. And that would really help. And secondly, what does it really mean at the end of this in terms of dollars and cents? Will we be ending up being taxed for water or services? What is the end result? And also, what happens if individual properties in your annexation have their own private water sources or water wells or water supply? What does that mean? What happens to all those individual private water sources when you annex it? And I'm not even sure if this is necessary. Who benefits at the end of this? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Jawal. Staff, do you want to? Can we show them the maps online? Is that possible?
They're online right now. I just made a
okay. Sir, Mr. Jawal, if you're still watching, there's maps online that you can take a look at to answer your first question. Second question, with respect to taxes, are taxes going up here?
Not with not with a sphere of influence or MSR.
Thank you.
And
then
Mr. Jasper can answer the more technical question.
Okay.
Well, one of the basic things we've learned about Cuddy Canyon is the water supply never gets any better. We go through cycles of a little bit better conditions and then conditions that are not as good. But like I mentioned earlier, on a 7-year basis, we're not going to dry out the canyon. Now, if I wasn't quite sure where that property was that the previous questioner was asking about, but what I will say is we've expanded the sphere of influence to be able to annex properties within that sphere, and if that property is within that sphere of influence, which is quite big, then if the landowner was not a part of the district at this point in time, but wanted to join the district, he could apply for annexation to the district. He can do that before we apply for the annexation, or we can annex. I think the easier thing to do, we already know what properties want to be in, and we can annex, and then we can modify the annexation, the boundaries of the annexation later. So there's a number of things we can do. I think did I answer the question?
I think I will clarify just a little bit. If a annexation happens and your property is within that annexation, you can still use your water well. This doesn't take away your use of your own personal water well.
Thank you. That is very good to know. I appreciate it.
Thank
And
you.
I really appreciate seeing this map. I went online and spent an hour trying to find out what exactly is the extent of the annexation. I couldn't find a map, but I appreciate you putting it up here. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Any other speakers?
No.
Okay, thank you. No speakers online. Any speakers in the audience? Okay, not seeing any either. Okay, any commissioner comments or questions? Commissioner Fowler.
I have a question for council, and I should have spoken to you privately. I have undeveloped property in Frazier Park. Can I participate in this vote?
Are you in the area that's going to be annexed?
I didn't look at the map. I think I'm going to abstain for these two items, just to be sure.
Okay.
Thank you, Commissioner Fowler. Any other commissioner comments or questions? Seeing none.
May I just ask one last question? I'm sorry to take this much time, but is there a way that a property owner can request not to be included if they don't want to be part of this process?
Yes. Yes, you can ask to not be included, and that will be considered by the commission at the time it's brought before them. Whether
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
When an annexation comes to the commission, it can get smaller, but it can't get bigger. You can't come and say, hey, add me too. We're going to have to do that in a separate annexation later.
We can subtract. Good to know.
Yeah.
Okay, good. At this point,
Endicott would like to make a motion.
Second, Guyon.
thank you. Motion and second. Madam Clerk, please call the vote.
Commissioner Ione?
Aye.
Commissioner Clark?
Yes.
Commissioner Endicott?
Aye.
Commissioner Flores?
Yes.
Commissioner Fowler?
Abstain.
Commissioner McKibben?
Yes.
Commissioner Zaragoza?
Aye.
6 ayes, 1 abstain. Motion passed.
Thank you. That brings us to item 8E, 1854 Frazier Park Utility District Municipal Services Review. This is MSR update of the Frazier Park Public Utility District Sphere of Influence boundary in order to prepare and update spheres of influence in accordance with Government Code 56425. Mr. Knox. Or did you already handle that under the first presentation?
Already handled that.
You handled, okay. So we had one report for both items.
Yes.
Any public comment on the MSR review?
No.
None. Okay, thank you. Commissioner comments or questions?
No comments, but I motion.
Okay, motion.
Endicott, second.
Second. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Ione?
Aye.
Commissioner Clark?
Yes.
Commissioner Endicott?
Aye.
Commissioner Flores?
Yes.
Commissioner Fowler?
Abstain.
Commissioner McKibben?
Yes.
Commissioner Zaragoza?
Aye.
6 ayes, 1 abstain. Motion passed.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to item 9, commission items. Item 9A, this is a Kern LAFCo strategic plan for 2025 through 2035 update. Mr. Knox, would you please kick this off?
Mr. Woolridge was dragging a little bit when he came into the building an hour and a half ago, hour and 45 minutes ago. He's waking up now.
I'm waking up now, Mr. Chairman.
Is he here to comment on the annexation for Ridgecrest?
No, sir.
Okay, all right, I was just checking.
Not at all, sir. No, we have updated the strategic plan. I believe we started this process back in May of this past year, and then we went through a couple of reviews. No challenges, basically. They were mostly cosmetic. I think Commissioner Zaragoza has added just one more addition, which is a nice colorful map to add as an addendum to the LAFCo strategic plan. Any other questions from the commissioners? I have learned so much in the last hour and a half. about
you don't
this,
wanna get
about this.
Sure you don't want to get appointed over here?
We have
I'm a school board member, so I'll get my hands full in 2 weeks, trust me. I'm in your hands,
Okay,
Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Keith. Any public comment on our Kern LAFCo strategic plan? Seeing none, any commissioner comments or questions?
I wanted to chime in. Thank you, Professor Woolridge. I know you don't want to say that, doctor, so I especially left it out. But for those of you who don't know, he just received his doctorate in education. Congrats again. You did an outstanding job considering the time-wise. Didn't give you much time. Secondly, I want to appreciate and say thank you to the staff, commissioners, everybody who provided input. This plan hopefully will give us a roadmap for the next 5 years, and hopefully we can pursue it. And as new members come on board, they can look at it and see where we want to go. It's somewhat static, but it can be amended. And before we prove it, I wanted to make an amendment as part of the motion, which is to include a base map, which if it becomes something very important for any strategic plan, especially for LAFCo, it will provide a geographic landscape of the visual context necessary for understanding the physical realities that Kern LAFCo County Service area provides. We just talked about all these areas. I think we're the third largest county in California.
Correct.
There's 58 counties, and I believe is it 8,100 plus square miles? We have a very big responsibility as LAFCO commissioners to be good stewards and prudent managers of the obligations that we've been authorized to provide guidance on regarding the Cortez-Hertzberg Act. And we wanted just to say thank you for all that. But I think a base map as an addendum would help clarify our LAFCO plan for any readers in the future. So with that, I'd like to make a motion to approve with that one amendment to including the base map.
I second.
Great. Okay. Thanks, Professor Woolridge, for all your work and your service.
Thank you for the opportunity to serve.
And
Thank you for the
Commissioner
opportunity
Saragosa
to
for
serve.
spearheading this and your final amendment, and we look forward to receiving it and implementing it over time.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
So, a motion and second. At this time, we'll call a vote.
Commissioner Ayon,
Aye.
Commissioner Clark,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Endicott,
Aye.
Commissioner Flores,
Yes.
Commissioner Fowler,
Yes.
Commissioner McKibben,
Yes.
Commissioner Zaragoza.
Aye.
All ayes, motion pass.
Great. Thank you. Okay, that brings us to item 10, general business, and this is the approval of the monthly expense list, number 25-07. Any commissioner comments or questions? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion.
Second.
Clark.
We have a motion and second by Commissioner Clark. Madam Clerk, please call the vote.
Commissioner Ayon,
Aye.
Commissioner Clark,
Yes.
Commissioner Endicott,
Aye.
Commissioner Flores,
Yes?
Commissioner Fowler.
Yes.
Commissioner McKibben.
Yes.
Commissioner Zaragoza.
Aye.
All ayes, motion pass.
Okay, thank you. That brings us to item 10B, feasibility study for the McFarland Recreation and Parks. This is an informational item. Mr. Knox.
At the August meeting, there was a lively conversation and presentations regarding the feasibility study written and submitted by LAFCo staff in regards to the City of McFarland application to convert the McFarland Rec and Park District to a dependent district of the city. Out of that discussion, 2 actions were requested. 1, to revise the feasibility study to address the financial situation of both the Rec and Park District and the city, and 2, respond to the letter submitted by the city addressing 6 issues the city has with the report. In doing so, there was a request for additional financial information of both the district and the city. A request was submitted to both the district and the city for additional financial information. The district provided some information, but not enough to do a robust analysis. The city did not provide a response before the city requested deadline of September 3rd. With the information available, a response was written to the city's letter clarifying key points. And minutes before the agenda packet was sent out last week, we received a second letter from the city, which was included in your packet. At this point, both the city and LAFCo have made their points known. None of these clarifications changes the conclusions of the report. I recommend the best path forward is to attach the responses to the report and table this for now. The city needs to finish their assessment of how they want to move forward. And once a decision has been made, we can determine if there's a place for LAFCO to assist or to step aside.
Thank you, Mr. Knox.
Chair, I don't think I don't think we need to table it. We have enough people here from the City of McFarland, Parks and Rec. Executive Director Blair Knox, he had a response, but that's his opinion. I want to state the facts, and our city manager is here to state the facts.
Sure, yeah, come forward.
Absolutely. Good evening, Chair, Commissioners. Diego Viramontes, City Manager with the City of McFarland. Just wanted to clarify a few items related to the staff report and just an overall big picture on where the city stands. As Executive Director Blair Knox stated, the staff report states that the city did not respond to the request for information. The city's perspective, we feel this characterization is inaccurate and misleading to the public. On June 17th, the city provided a comprehensive report to the executive officer detailing the parks currently maintained by the city. On July 3rd, we submitted an email that included a direct link to the city's financial information, including budgets and audits going back 10 years, along with additional budget information for other recreation and park districts, going beyond the original scope of the request. On August 28th, a follow-up email was received requesting minor additional information requests, which we acknowledge were missed. These details, as the executive officer pointed out, would not have altered the fiscal analysis in any way. The city has since provided, to my knowledge, the missing information upon learning of this omission through the staff report. At a minimum, the staff report should have acknowledged the substantial information we did provide throughout this process, including materials that exceeded the original request. We respectfully request that the staff report be corrected to acknowledge the city's good faith responses and the information we provided thus far. I also want to take a brief moment to share my professional background to provide context for my upcoming remarks. In addition to serving as city manager, I am also the finance director for the city of McFarland. I hold an active CPA license with the California Board of Accountancy and have nearly 10 years of direct experience in municipal finance. Prior to that, I was an auditor with our Brown Armstrong, our local CPA firm, where I audited both small and large agencies throughout the state. I speak to you not only as an administrator, but also a subject matter expert in municipal finance. From that perspective, it is clear that the Recreation and Park District is not in a sustainable path forward. This is not only my conclusion, the district's own auditors have raised serious doubts. In note 11 of their fiscal year 23-24 financial statements, the auditors stated that during the fiscal year ended June 30th, 2024, the district experienced significant operating losses, a decline in cash reserves, and ended the year with a deficit fund balance, raising concerns about its ability to continue as a going concern. This is a professional opinion of their independent auditors, and it confirms the reality that we see on the ground, that the district cannot sustain operations in its current form. By contrast, over the past 5 years, the city has developed a strong management team, built a proven track record of raising revenues, and expanded essential services. We have delivered long overdue infrastructure projects and demonstrated our ability to execute when funding is provided. What we are offering is a sustainable path forward, nothing more, nothing less, combining resources to not only continue but expand recreation and park services for McFarland residents. Leaving the district in its current structure will, at best, lead to further reduction of already limited services. We understand that recreation and parks are not profit-making services, but as Commissioner Clark so greatly stated, recreation and parks are essential to the community. The city of McFarland is uniquely positioned and willing to take on this challenge to ensure these essential services are preserved and strengthened for the future. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Ms. Viramontes. Appreciate that. Any other comments from the audience? Come on up. Welcome. Good evening. Just state your name for the record.
Hi, good evening. My name is Jaime Hernandez. I was raised in the city of McFarland.
Thank you.
And as we have heard, the Parks and Rec is malfunctioning. And growing up as a kid there, We had access to the pool, sports. I remember I've been pretty successful in life, and I remember going to the park with my dad, my uncles. We used to barbecue there, and I would like for the current residents of the city and the community to continue to enjoy those services, because if we end up doing nothing or this issue goes away and the Parks and Rec state continue to malfunction, it's only going to go downhill from there. So I do ask the board to take this topic, as all the other topics, very serious, and hand it over to the city or make a decision, because it's important to the residents of the city of McFarland. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Hernandez. Appreciate that. Any other public speakers? Now's the time.
Good evening. My name is Anita Gonzalez, and I'm also a resident of the city of McFarland. And I just want to piggyback on what he was saying, was that I also remember growing up in McFarland in the park and having these fun activities that I cherish today. And it's a shame that our kids today aren't able to experience that as what we did. And it's a shame that these activities didn't grow with what we have now. And so if McFarland, the city of McFarland, is willing to take this on and maybe go ahead and pick up where it left off at, it would be really nice for our children to see that. And it's not just about the pool, but it's all the programs, other programs that we don't see anymore. And so just hope that you go ahead and vote in our favor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And just as a reminder, this is an informational item tonight, so there's no vote at this juncture, but we still welcome public comment. Any other public comments? Now's the time.
Good evening, Commissioners. I'm also a resident of McFarland, grew up there, been living there for over 40 years. And
Your name for the record?
Jorge Mendoza.
Thank you.
And my wife was lucky enough to attend the last meeting, and when I asked her about the meeting, she was totally confused by the report and everything going on. So I was able to make it today, and I'm still not clear on the report of what's to be done. I'm also here because I attended the Parks and Rec meeting, because I don't want to hear from a third person, second person, and they were giving some misinformation about the city being in debt and mismanaging. The city has been doing a great job fixing our streets, our overpasses, and yet they are the ones who are mismanaging. We've been losing programs, and they're going in debt. And like the other people have said, we have been losing some of the programs that we had as we were growing up. So I'm also asking the commissioners to step in to give us a clear direction as what we need to do to get it back on right track.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mendoza. Next speaker, please.
Good evening. Jose Hernandez, also resident of McFarland. I have a question more than anything. So in the position that we are now with the rec and stuff, what's going to happen a year, 2 years from now? Say if they don't come up with a solution to their money problem.
That's a question for the district. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen.
Okay. I'm highly involved with kids. My kids joining the sports here and the recreation there in McFarland. I've coached before. All my kids pretty much played. And as a business owner, for example, if I'm in a deficit of, $100,000, $200,000, we all know what happens at that point. I don't know where that money's coming or where it's missing, or I don't know the exact details. I just, as a resident, I'm concerned what's going to happen from here on out.
Sure.
That's my question.
Sure. No. Thank you, Mr. Hernandez. Yeah. So I'm not privy to the future scenarios, but I do want to thank you for. I see a lot of genuine concern by the citizens of McFarland that have taken an interest in their community and their parks district, and so we as commissioners appreciate that feedback, that passion. So thank you. Next speaker.
Yeah, my name is Roy Gonzalez. I've been a resident of McFarland for 62 years, and I'm going to follow up with these guys. I agree with all this. I also enjoyed the Park and Recs, the pool. We used to rent it out. We used to have parties there. But, I guess I want to say that, the Park and Recs did not wake up yesterday and find out they were in debt, for a couple $1 million or over $1 million. This is something that's been going on, 5, 6 years ago. I believe they have done nothing in their power to try to fix this or try to be part of the city of McFarland or try to partner up with the city of McFarland. So what I like to see is, somebody to take over and bring those programs back, not just for the kids, senior citizens. There's a lot of things going on in other cities that have a park and recs that we're not doing. So I think it's the right step. I don't think McFarland really wants to take the debt, but we could either sit back and let this go on debt even more and let the county take over and we lose any power of it. So I say that McFarland needs to step up and do the right thing, and that's to take over and do the best they can to improve all this for the residents and for the future kids.
Thank you, Mr. Gonzalez. Next speaker, please.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Anthony Blanco. I'm a leader of the city and also a church pastor in the community. I've been in the community for my entire life. And, we've all seen, we're all here because we care about our community. I am extremely busy, but I took time out of my schedule like the rest of us. We're coming here to show you that we love our community. We are concerned of what's going on. And the majority of the people that know what's going on with the rec, they're all concerned as, where's the money going? What's going on? And we don't want it to fail. Like the rest of us, I grew up there, used to use a pool and everything else, but our kids have nothing in the community. If they stay stagnant, they get into trouble. So the community, the Parks and Rec needs to give something to our kids. And like he said, also the senior citizens. The city of McFarland just recently started something for the seniors. And I'm very proud to be part of that. They just started it just this September. So every Tuesday, we have something for the seniors, but we don't have anything. There's smaller towns like Taft. If you see their Parks and Rec, it's amazing, and they are much smaller than McFarland, and their money is a lot smaller, but yet they have so much compared to McFarland. So something's going on. So I believe it needs to be investigated to where that money's going. What happened to all that? If they're in the hole for over $1 million, what's going on? So we're all here because we're concerned, and we want to know where our money's going. It's our money, and we want the city to, effectively take over. We've seen a great effort on behalf of the city, the streets, just so much that's been going on. So we feel that the city taking over will be more efficient in running the Parks and Rec. So we're all here, and just please take that into consideration. We do care about our community. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Blanco. Appreciate you coming tonight. Next speaker, please.
Hello, everyone. Joanna Martinez, Administrative Supervisor for McFarland Parks and Recreation. I just wanted to thank you guys again for taking the time to do the report and the study. I know it takes a lot of time, and for us at the Park and Rec has been a little bit stressful trying to make sure that we accommodate to everybody's questions and trying to move on at the same time to create our programs for our community to continue to run our programs. So we somebody mentioned we gave misinformation at the last board meeting. The only information that I reported was what the LAFCo report presented. So I just wanted to make that clear. I didn't look into the city's financials at all. Don't have time for that. But I did have used the LAFCo report and reported on several sections on that. Congratulations to the city of McFarland for putting a senior program together. I think that's an amazing thing that you guys are able to provide that. Unfortunately, a lot of the Meals on Wheels that we used to provide has been declining, and we've tried to be successful on that. So just for the community to know that it's here, you guys can call Kern County Adult Agency Services, and they'll communicate that as well. We're on the list, and I believe the city of McFarland had also reached out, Ms. Megan. We're all on the list to create that back. There've been declines on that. As far as the audits, transparency, budgets, everything's online, so you can see where your money is going. You'll be able to find that it's available on the transparency section under governance. Past 3 years, not the 10, 'cause it's not required, but we do the minimum and the current year. We are working on our current budget. Some of you attended our board meeting and were able to hear that audit, and that audit report is online as well. And somebody did make a comment. I mean, if the city of McFarland has the money to take over the park and rec, somebody suggested for them to build the pool. And we would love to partner with the city of McFarland to have them use our park and recreation and have them create the pool that is very much wanted by the community. I know myself, my kids enjoyed that pool, so we look forward to that possible partnership with the city of McFarland. Thank you guys for your time. Have a good night.
Thank you, Ms. Martinez. Appreciate you. Next speaker, please.
I'm going to fill in some information that I think Joanna forgot. At the last Friday night, there was a special meeting, and Marlon Isaacs, who used to be the district manager for the McFarland Recreation and Park District up until about 15 years ago, was voted in to be the interim director. He's going to be doing that with a focus on finances, and he knows McFarland, he knows the people, he knows the situation, and he's eager to take leadership in order to do what he can to assist. To bring this all back, the LAFCo Commission cannot do the things that Mayor Ayan and the citizens here have requested. It's not within your powers to do so, as has been acknowledged. The emphasis on this, the continued discussion, is certainly not a bad thing, but it's also a distraction to moving forward. And we would appreciate some closure tonight on this particular matter. If the city wants to take a different approach, that is their right, and they may do so. But under the LAFCO umbrella, as far as I can see, there's no basis for continuing this discussion. It seems that it's an opportunity for the public to come out and voice their comments, but I don't think this is what LAFCO was created to do on a monthly basis. So I do want to share the good news about the interim director, because I think that's going to be very helpful to the district. And thank you very much.
Thank you. You know, ma'am, I didn't get your name for the record, sorry.
Gosh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Beth Cuney, K-U-N-E-Y.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think Commissioner Ayan,
Well,
you want to wait?
finish with
Okay.
public comment.
Next speaker, please.
My bones crackle and pop as I walk up here. Lisa Marroquin, Marroquin. I serve as the board president for the McFarland Parks and Rec. And I just want to say, all of you that have spoke tonight, and I can hear it from your heart, it's from our hearts too, that we want the same thing. And the city and the rec and all of the community members, we're all after the same thing. And I can say, I live in the city, I see things that the city is doing, and I'm happy about it. I have no qualms with anything, happening. I wish that we could move past this and work together as a team and allow us a little bit of time as Marlon comes on and as we have had our changes, with our district manager, our old district manager is now gone. There might be some changes that can happen in a positive manner, and having Marlon come on and Joanna, there, and as a team with the board, we would like the chance to move forward and partner with the city and work together and make it great for our community, but to keep it as a special district. That's our goal. That's our ultimate goal. And, I just think it would be good if we could all move forward with this and get what we're after for our community, because that's what we're there for. That's what we volunteer for. So, that's what I have to say, and I just wanted to put it out there. So,
Sure.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Ms. Marroquin. Thank you for being here. Next speaker. Okay, I think that might be rounding out public comment. Okay, I'll bring it back to Commissioner Ayon.
Thank you, Chair. First of all, let me start out with how you pronounce your name? Beth. You don't speak for me. You don't speak for our community. Hold on. You said my name, so I want to respond. You are getting paid today, correct? So you're getting paid. Thank you. That's why we're in a financial deficit. Well, I'm glad because we don't have our city attorney here, but thank you. It's real simple. This discussion that's come over, and just to clear that statement she made that I'm trying to take over or the mayor I own. It's not. I've discussed this before. We're not trying to absorb. I don't know what deficit they're in because there's different numbers that our executive director has come up with, but they are in a deficit. And we've tried to partner up with them. But the problem is, how can we allow people that have been in charge of this district for 15, 20 years still run the district if it's been a failure as far as where the money or the funding has gone? Nobody's making those accusations. It's just saying we're losing programs and benefits. And by no means is the pool going to be in the future for our community. I mentioned last meeting how many of our children don't know how to swim because of this. So my comment is, Ms. Marquand, thank you for your comments, but we've tried, we reached out, we've met several times, but there's no common ground as far as how we work this together. We've tried several times already, but we just got, I want to say, silence. So when I brought this up to our commissioners, it was a feasibility study to see that we had, to see where this would be transparent to our community. But what happened in our last meeting, our executive director gave a lot of options, but wasn't clear on what would be the best option. And Ms. Martinez did mention those options at the board meeting, but she did not say what was the recommendation. We understand that LAFCo could make a recommendation based on the feasibility studies. But if the feasibility study is not accurate, how can we as a board approve that? Now that you are seeing that the audits were presented on time and all this other, as commissioners, you need to review it. The city for the last 5 years, we can't go by the last 10, 15 years. Every city, county has this roller coasters. But in the last 5 years, we've had a strong administration. We've had a strong council. You see the residents here talking about our infrastructure, our streets, our policing, our fire service. We're paying the bills. So my problem is if we continue to delay this and continue to say, oh, let's work on this. What happens if it's allowed that the Parks and Rec get to work on this in 6, 8 months, 9 months down the line, they get in a bigger financial debt because there's no revenue coming in. Everybody knows here that the state is in a deficit. The federal government is cutting programs. And if Les Clark, one of the directors here that knows about Parks and Rec, I tell you is Parks and Rec, which I consider an essential service for our community, because in McFarland, not like other cities, we don't have a movie theater. We don't have other things to keep our kids, our seniors entertained and provide those services that our taxpayers' money is going for. That comment about building our own pool, you do receive our taxpayer money to provide recreational services. So the city shouldn't be building their own pool because we're already paying for those services. So my comments here are pretty simple. Is Blair, you got to correct these responses that you gave were pretty defiant and pretty defensive. Our staff has been completely transparent, giving you the information that you asked for. I've seen the email trails, and the thing is, if I needed an opinion or somebody to make an opinion or anything, I could have gone to the Bakers of California. We just need the analysis and the facts on this feasibility study, so our public, so our community could read the facts and read the facts about the financial situation. And if this board decides, hey, we'll just leave it as is, at least the whole county or the state is aware that the city administration, the city council was trying to take action to fix our Parks and Rec services. So that's all I have to say, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Commissioner Ayon. Any other commissioner comments or questions? Commissioner Nicott.
So I know this is informational, but like, since they have sent information in and even gentleman sitting there, sorry, I forgot your title, city manager. It was there, it just fleeting moment. Said that he did submit additional that were previously omitted. Is there in a way that we as a committee, staff can review the totality of their information and then?
Yes, I can bring that back to the commission. Okay. But my point is, the conclusions of the report are still solid. The report could say city good, district bad, and it's still, the conclusions are that the city taking it over as an independent district has significant problems. Dissolving the district would require that the assets go to the county, not to the city. The county has 54%. The conclusion was the best way to move forward at the moment would be to change the board of the district from an elected board to an appointed board, with the city having, if you do it by population, the city would either have 3 or 4 of the board members that they appoint. The county would have 1, and so on. So they would have majority control of the board and be able to work out a deal between the city and the Rec and Park District. Whereas if they want to do it where the city provides all the staffing, you can do it that way. If the city is going to maintain the parks instead of having staff at the Rec and Park do it, those two can be arranged. And while you're doing that, try to address the debt. Instead of bringing the debt into the city's responsibility, handle it outside. And that just makes sense to me, that would be a way to do it, and not in some way, if things go bad or whatever, the city's budget will be impacted by the debt of the district.
Oh, I'm going to go to Commissioner Clark and then back to you. Okay, thanks.
Blair, when you talk about finances and a dependent district, is part of what you're saying, if they become a dependent district, they'll lose that 54% from the county?
There's 2 problems. The first problem is, in order for it to become a dependent district, 70% of the population has to be within the city, which actually is true. But 70% of the land also has to be within the city, and it is not. And so they are not eligible to make it a dependent district.
So we can make a joint.
Yes.
That's what the whole, I'm sorry, let's go ahead.
No, I'm just curious. So anything you have and you want to add, that'd be great.
That was the initial proposal, to make it a joint, to partner up with the Parks and Rec so that we don't lose the boundaries. But they never came to that agreement. Parks and Rec.
Well, through the chair, do you mind?
I don't mind, no.
I'd rather have the chair speak, not a hired attorney.
No, is there a request to speak?
I'd like to speak to what is being discussed right now, because we did this a month ago. May I, or is this out of order? I don't mean to, but.
This is out of order.
Well, we had commissioner comments about the feasibility study, and then new information presented. And then staff indicated that even with new information, the fundamental conclusion would stay the same. So that's where we're at currently. I'm fine with more public comment, but I do want to wrap it up if you want to add something. Okay. Okay. Okay, so, any other commissioner? Oh,
Chair, at the end of,
Jose Hernandez, also a resident from McFarland. What I've noticed in these meetings, I've attended these meetings, and I notice as for me from the outside looking in, there's a lot of personal attacks. I don't know how to find somewhere in the middle. I noticed that they attack our mayor quite a bit. People even out there that are sitting down, he'll be making a comment, and there'll be people behind him making gestures and doing this and doing that. And it's also people from the board when they're talking. It's a lot of personal attack against each other. We got to find a median somewhere where we find a resolve, somewhere in the middle where we're not. It's like kids fighting. It really is, and not from the adults, but people from that go to these meetings and they just make these comments, and it gets pretty bad. And I'm like, that's very, very disrespectful for somebody in the audience to be making hand gestures behind the mayor, or as an example, if Lisa's talking and something's not, they don't like what she said and they're attacking her. I don't know how we would kind of find a median there, but
sure. I mean, I'm not seeing that tonight.
yeah, no, not here tonight, but from when we have our meetings over there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
Got it.
Chair, may I add to
Thank you.
that?
Sure.
The reason is, I'm not going to speak for Ms. Marquin. That's their meetings. I can't conduct how they handle their meeting, but if it was our city council meeting, I don't allow any disrespect. And another thing, the individual wouldn't do it in front of my face. But I would just leave with that. Thank you.
So, okay, so that was in reference to outside meetings? Okay. Sure. Got it. Got it. So, no, yeah, I mean, Commissioner Endicott.
Staff, I just wanted to bring up CUNY, Ms. CUNY's comment that this is outside the bounds of LAFCo. I just wanted some clarification on that, if the discussion we're having is outside the bounds of LAFCo.
We currently have an application by the city requesting that the district become a dependent district of the city. That has not been withdrawn or moved forward at this point. So it is an issue of the commission. I took it upon myself to offer to write the feasibility study because I knew there were going to be issues that we needed to work our way through. I also knew it wasn't going to be easy, and not everyone was going to like the recommendations or the conclusions that I came up with. That's fine. I do want to work with both sides to come up with a solution. I do care whether Rec and Park in McFarland is viable and working well for the citizens. I grew up in Wasco. I learned to swim at the public park. I played Little League on the public park. I grew up with that. I still spend quite a bit of time in public parks. So this is important to me. Small communities are important to me, and I want to be able to be helpful. But I also have other projects I got to work on too. So there's that as well. Yeah.
Commissioner Saragosa.
I appreciate the comments from the commissioners as well as from the public. And there's two questions because I'm confused. And something that the executive officer mentioned, which appear to be potential solution path, which is a joint appointment. Am I correct? I think maybe you were saying that maybe the county would potentially appoint so many commissioners, and then the city would appoint so many based on either population or geography. Is that because of a dependent district, or is it because that's feasible? And if so, who would start that process? That's where I'm confused.
That process could be started by the district itself.
Okay.
They could do it by resolution to start that process. As an interested party, the city of McFarland can start that process. The other option is to go to the legislature. The legislature could pass a bill that allows for it to be an appointed board.
Appointed board, okay.
That's actually happened with other rec and park districts here in Kern County, including north of the river rec and park district. I don't remember how Les's district was created, but they are also appointed on his board. So this is not
Not
new.
new, yeah.
No.
76 years ago.
But it's working.
Keen mind from. So the second question is a district question. I'm going to make the rookie assumption there's 5 elected members. In the next 12 months or so, how many seats are open for voting? 3. Which would be allowable for anybody who's a resident of the district to put their hat in. Okay.
Correct.
In the next 12 months. Okay, just wanted to clarify that. Thank you.
Chairman?
Yeah, sure.
Vince, great questions. The only problem that I see is that's a year from now. That's another year that our kids are going without, our seniors.
That's true,
But we just, look, we've tried partnering up. Our city manager could explain, we try to have this meeting, and we're still gonna try to continue to partner up. We just have to have the conversations. We gotta be the adults in the room and let personal agendas out of the way, but it's nothing personal. It's just business. But it's business for all our residents in our community. But thank you for those questions.
Thank you for clarifying that, so appreciate it.
So I have a question for you, Commissioner Young. So are you interested in a restructuring of the board and making it appointees from the county and the city? Okay.
Absolutely.
So apart from the state legislative pathway, what other pathways are available to accomplish that?
It's the Parks and Rec and, go ahead.
The Park and Rec District could put in.
It's up to so it's up to them.
It's a resolution of them, but the city could also do their own resolution, and they would go before the Board of Supervisors to ask to have the question put on the ballot. And so ultimately, the voters within the district boundaries would decide whether to be and continue to be an elected board or an appointed board.
Okay, so it'd be ultimately an election.
Correct. It'd be up to the voters to decide.
So I don't know if that's something the district wants to pursue or if the city wants to pursue, but LAFCo is not going to pursue it.
It is not within our jurisdiction to be part of that.
Got it.
It's just
authority.
under your jurisdiction to make that recommendation, but thank you, Chair, but that's just another 6 months, a year that we're gonna have to be waiting to have something going. But, you know, this is the thing that I'm trying to explain, like, not only working with our city staff, our city council is getting out there and looking for grants, rolling up your sleeves, making stuff happen. Not because the attention's on you, it's because this is what you do as an elected official or somebody that runs for a board. You look out and try to find partners, funding, different mechanisms to bring back to your community, not wait until that ship has potentially sunken. And this is the problem that I have, and I brought this up to Mr. Knox, is like, as LAFCo commissioners, and I know it's the state legislation or about having oversight over these special district water districts to determine if they're fulfilling their role for the residents of the communities they serve, and having direction so then it doesn't go back. And we've been on this for about 4 months now, and this is going to be another month. So this is the problem that I'm having, because it's moving slowly, and yeah, it might get there, but then that's another year. But we'll see what happens. I'm open to partnering up with and I've said it multiple times, and I don't get a response from the Parks and Rec. So the olive branch is extended out, and let's see what happens from there. If not, we'll just go a different direction. But thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Commissioner Sergos.
Last comment, and I think Supervisor Commissioner Couch will probably be unhappy with me for the suggestion. Unfortunately, he's not here. But is there any way for the county to mediate this and have the two parties come together and look at possible solution with maybe a path for an appointment type or elected appointment type district? And if so, does the county have like a specialized mediator person under the county council or CAO, or is each supervisor have their own staff to do that type of stuff for their district? I don't know how it works.
County supervisors have both. We have access to county council as well as our own personal staff. So, you know, I would defer to Supervisor Couch since this is in his district. He might be willing to facilitate a meeting between the two parties, look for some solutions. One pathway is a restructuring of the board and appointments. That's on the table. Maybe something else comes from that discussion. So he's not here today, otherwise he would weigh in. So I don't want to speak for him.
just wanted to,
But to answer
throw
your
that
question,
out
we do have access to.
And that has
folks.
happened in the past where you've mediated?
I've not seen this before in this instance, but we're always doing informal meetings and bringing parties together to look for
Good,
solutions.
good.
So
Thank you for that clarification.
Can I speak to that?
yeah, sure.
I would just like to say, Lisa Marroquin, resident of McFarland, president of the board, at the recreation. Joanna and I had a meeting with Supervisor Couch, and it was a very good meeting. I felt we were there like hour and a half, 2 hours, going over everything under the sun. He asked lots of questions. We asked lots of questions. And he did tell us that he was going to reach out to the school district as well as the mayor and staff, and that he was hopeful that we could all work together and find a solution together, which, yes, you know, that's what we need. And so we haven't heard back from him quite yet, but, you know, there's a lot to dig through. So I'm very hopeful that that is something that we could do together.
Okay, well, thank
And
you
it
for-
sounded like it, according to him,
Well,
so.
I'm glad that you all had a meeting and that we might be a second one. Commissioner Ayun.
Yeah, Lisa, he reached out to me and I said, if you want to meet up, and I said, absolutely, make the meeting happen.
Yeah,
So,
definitely,
okay,
definitely.
thank you.
Thank you. So, yeah, I want to wrap up public comment for those that have already spoken. 'Cause we got to wrap this up, but let's finish with you. Yeah.
I just wanna, good afternoon, good evening. My name is Martin Medina. I just wanted to, just to clarify that. I think it's better if you guys fix it faster, sooner rather than later, because like for me, for example, I have my kids on private leagues. I'm taking them to Wasco so they can learn how to swim, and I just like that money could go to the city instead of to McFarland, instead of going elsewhere.
Thank you.
So I just hope you guys.
I'm sorry,
fix
I
it
didn't
fast.
get your name. What was your name?
Martin Medina.
Meda?
Medina.
Medina. Okay, Mr. Medina, thank you. Okay, so we have potential meetings with the supervisor, Dave Couch, and the city and the district. We have potential route with resolutions from the city or the district to restructure the board appointment process. We have potential election moving forward with 3 open seats. And we have what's before us, this feasibility study. So it's an informational item. There's no vote. I don't know if you want to give any other direction to staff, but we're not going to vote on this. I'm ready to move on to the next item. There's nothing else.
Yeah, just to correct it for the record as far as the financials.
Okay.
I'm good with it, and especially the weak mayor stuff. Out. Thanks, Mayor.
I don't think anyone's accused you of being weak. Who said that? But weak mayor structure, not person.
Yes,
This is
correct.
this is a very strong mayor. I'll attest to that. Okay, all right. Well, thank you for the robust discussion, and I think everyone has the same end goal. It's just how you all get there. It's in the mechanics. So if we can help, we're happy to help. If something comes before us, we'll take a look. Okay, Executive Officer miscellaneous items, Mr. Knox.
Yeah, we're not through with McFarland. The city of McFarland made a request to extend water services to a property outside the city's boundaries. The well on the property was twice the allowable limit for nitrates and therefore was eligible under the emergency provisions. The commission has provided me with the authority to approve this type of request if it's an emergency situation, and I'm required to inform the commission at the next meeting, which I'm doing right now. So that's my McFarland for the night. Last month, I mentioned a couple bills that we are tracking in Sacramento. SB 707, which makes major changes to the Brown Act, is not moving forward and will be made a 2-year bill, so we're going to have to deal with this again next year. So that's on the legislative side. Recently, I mentioned to the commission that our insurance rates are expected to go up 13% in January. Our insurance is through SDRMA, which was considerably lower than the competition when we switched to them over a decade ago. So I've been told. To make sure we are still getting competitive prices, I had Mrs. Moore, who was the executive officer when the commission approved the SDRMA contract, as our provider to do research on our rates and compare to what we get from our providers, and I'll share those at the next meeting. But right now, it looks like they're still competitive. As of now, we do not have a proceeding that will be ready for the October meeting. The only item that we have is the results of the protest hearing for East Kern Hospital District. I've talked to representatives of the hospital and the district, where we're both here tonight, and indicated to them that staff can continue to process the post-meeting requirements and will not likely be able to record the annexation until December at the earliest. So waiting until November meeting to provide the commission results of the protest will not slow down that process. Because we're not having a meeting does not mean we are not busy. Good. Up on the screen, Mr. Rice has put together a list of proceedings. I'll let him walk through what those mean. We have, I believe, 48 proceedings that we're working on right now that are in different areas, different stages. And so I'll let Mr. Rice explain where we are on these projects.
All right. What I've got up on the screen right now is we refer to the projects that we receive. We have what's in the works, or basically in the queue. These are potential applications. 90% of them usually become an application. But I work with the districts and the cities to make sure that these applications are filled out correctly and that they adhere to the LAFCo policy. So regarding that, we have everything in the gray area that you're viewing right there. These are all applications. There's additional projects out there, but these are ones that look like they're going to be moving forward and will be reviewed at a later date. Okay. So I'll go through this just real fast. There's 48 projects in process. 20 of them have assigned proceeding numbers. That means we've accepted the applications and we're in the process of reviewing or sending them through for information, things like this. 6 are awaiting final payment. That means we have completed 6 and we're just awaiting payment before we can issue the certificate of completion. 9 are under staff review. That means we have municipal service reviews that we are reviewing right now for upcoming annexations and sphere of influence amendments. We also review drafts on a constant basis of the applications, as I said earlier. So, but these are, them 9 are 20 that we have in proceeding right now. Okay, they have been assigned and we are reviewing them daily as information comes in. We have 7 state mandated water agency processes that we are looking at. This is relatively new. You've already done a few. We've done some extension of services to North Edwards. They're going to come back and do an annexation later. That's not even in this because, you know, trying to get funding for some of this takes a while. What you heard tonight with Fraser Park, that is actually a state mandated water system solution. And so we have 7 more sitting in here that we are going to be processing eventually as funds become available. We could do it tonight, but I don't have all the applications yet, and they don't have the funds to pay us, so.
That's what it is, okay.
So,
Sweat some pounds off.
so what we're looking at right now is there have been a lot of staff changeovers post-COVID, okay? We have new software at the county. We have new software at LAFCo. We're all getting used to that. So our review of some of these are taking a little bit longer because we're having to break in and train new people as well as learn the new software as well. To just moving on, we have 11 right now, 11 applications. They're ready to go, but I can't move forward with them until they give us the initial payment. So these are ones that we've received. I've already reviewed the drafts, and we're just waiting for the payment to come in to push it forward. We have 15 of the discussions. That's the ones right here where we're discussing different projects. We have 10 awaiting initial information requests. That means I've already sent out for additional information, and I'm waiting for, or I've sent out for information from the county departments, and I'm waiting for that information to come back. And then we have 6 for additional requests where that information has came back, and now I need some support or clarification in some areas where the information that came back didn't match the information that was provided or that it wasn't provided. So this is where we're at. The problem is I can't push everyone as much as I want to. I mean, we're 3.5 people now, 4 people.
We're 3 full-time, 2 part-time.
Yes.
We had 5 people in our office, working in our office yesterday.
Yeah, it was.
New record.
Yeah. There
Yes.
you go. Well, and just, I want to push forward. We are the 3rd largest county. We have more special districts in the city than most of the others. Okay? We are pushing this stuff forward. We actually move more than most LAFCos in the state of California. We don't spend a lot of time at the Cal LAFCo and stuff because we don't have a lot of time to spend. We're too busy pushing this stuff and trying to get this stuff to you guys. So we are doing the work, but I can't push stuff for you guys to make a determination when I can't give you the information for it. So this is where we're at. This is why we don't have a proceeding that's going to be ready next month. Okay?
We don't hold things back to have something every month. If it's ready to go, we bring it to you, even if it takes, 3 hours to get through a meeting again. Thank you for doing that.
That just leaves us the November meeting, right?
Correct. And on that note, Chair Flores will not be with us at the November meeting, so Mr. Zaragoza will be leading us as vice chair. At that meeting, we'll have a vote for the chair and vice chair for 2026. Tradition indicates the next in line for the vice chair moves to the chair, and then the vice chair is picked by, we alternate between county, city, special district, public member, who is next in line. Next in line for vice chair is special districts for 2026.
Congratulations, Gary.
Mr. Clark will actually be termed out in May, which means, Mr. McKibben, we need to have a conversation about you being the chair again in 2027. Yeah, we'll talk about it. I know that's not your first love.
But it's yours to consider.
I passed it up the last time.
Okay.
That's why.
Yes. Actually, you passed it to Karen, who was here who was here earlier. Yes. I want to end by, even though he won't be at our November meeting, Commissioner Flores is our chair through December 31st. But as this is the last chance to do so publicly, I want to thank you for your contribution.
Yeah, thank you.
Excellent job as chair for this year.
Thank you all.
Very appreciate it. So our next meeting is Wednesday. My Next meeting is Wednesday, November 19th, 2025.
Okay, all right, so adjourned. Thank you.
Can I make a quick comment? before?
I'm sorry, Commissioner Nakati.
Yeah. No, I just.
He did.
Given,
He had a comment.
Given the light of what's happened recently, I want to commend the people that came up to speak and that you were passionate about what you were talking about. When I was a professor, I used to cover the First Amendment, and I believe wholeheartedly that it's okay for us to disagree, and we can disagree passionately. And so especially on the last issue we talked about with McFarland, I really hope you guys come together, you disagree passionately, but you listen to both sides, listen to the other, and try to find that path forward. As someone who has a city that we live and die with our quality of life, with our Parks and Rec, I know how vital that is for both groups here. I know the public wants it, and kudos to you guys for coming out and speaking. I do this normally at my city council meetings. Anyone know what the number one fear for most people is? Public speaking. Number two is death. So most people would rather die than get up in front and talk. So thank you for getting up and talking. I know it's interesting seeing your picture up there and having other people be able to see you, but I do want an update when we meet again in November, because I know that that's a necessity, and your public wants it, and you seem like you have passionate individuals. You guys might not agree on the path forward, but the end point is where you need to meet. So
Please, nobody shoot.
And I'm giving direction to staff to reach out to property management to leave the air conditioning on at least till 8 o'clock. Next meeting, it's getting kind of warm in here.
Hey,
Go ahead.
Chair.
No. Yeah, Commissioner Ione, go ahead.
No, I want to thank all the public for attending, especially if you came without being paid. I also want to thank our commissioners for their work and their questions and concerns about our community. I thought when you were mentioning the number one fear, you were going to say people not knowing how to swim, but I'll leave that for another day. And I just want to tell, yeah. But thank you, Chair, for doing an amazing job this year and running the meetings. Thank you. That's it.
Thank you.